Hey, teacher friend. Welcome back to the Teacher Support Network podcast. I'm your host, Anton McCoy, and today we're going to talk about those times in a school year when your students are in the room, but they're just not all there in the room. You know what I'm talking about? The pencils are out, the notebooks are open, but their energy is low, their focus is shaky, and the whole class just feels like they're just checked out. And for some of our students, especially our students with disabilities, our struggling learners, and just students who just need that extra support, the slump can hit even harder. And when that happens, sometimes the issue is not the lesson itself. Sometimes it's just the energy is kind of flat or stale. And sometimes the learning just needs a fresh doorway back in. So today, I want to give you something simple you can use in your classrooms right away. And it's called Motivational F.U.N. And the F.U.N. Is an acronym that stands for F, fun activities, U, unannounced surprises, and N, new environment. It's simple, it's easy to remember, and powerful when your classroom needs a spark. So let's start with the F, fun activities. Now, I'm not saying every lesson is going to be a game show. You still have your standards to teach, you still have your goals that you have to meet, and you just have your content that you really need to teach. But sometimes the same material can land differently when the format changes. Same skill, same objective, different feel. Maybe your unit review becomes a game. Maybe you pull out some cards or dice and add that to the mix. Maybe you use stations if you usually don't use stations to mix it up a little bit. Do some small group challenges, throw in some puzzles, or even a Kahoot. I mean, who doesn't love a Kahoot? And maybe you break practicing drills and things like that into shorter bursts with some movement built in. That shift can help wake students up. And for our students who kind of struggle more, the fun does not mean fluff. It means access. Sometimes we're not lowering the bar, we're just opening the door a little bit wider. So now, let's go from fun activities, the F, to our U in fun. Unannounced surprises. Students get worn down by the sameness, and we do too. And when every day starts feeling too predictable, motivation can start dropping from your lessons even more. And so let's break the monotony up with something unexpected. Not something huge, not something too expensive, just something that changes the temperature and the atmosphere in your room. It makes me think of a story when I was teaching algebra readiness to a group of high school students with disabilities, and we were working on simple algebraic equations. Now, some students were getting it, some were not, and it was all those students that were in between. And I could feel us really getting stuck. And we needed to cover the standard because I needed to get them ready for Algebra 1 the next year. But I knew if I kept teaching it the same exact way, I was going to lose some of them. And so what I did, I switched it up a bit and used a project-based learning activity. And in this activity, students worked through one-step equations and two-step equations based on their level. But it was organized like military ranks. So they started at a lower rank like private for the easier problems. And then they moved up as the work got more challenging, like towards a sergeant rank. And I'm telling you, just shifting to this project-based learning, it really changed the energy and the motivation of the students. Now they were not just doing another worksheet. Now they were trying to level up a little bit. They were tracking their progress. And they were also helping each other because they had to put them all in homogeneous groups based off where they were in the process. And it taught, it still taught the standards that I needed. And it gave me room to differentiate and do my specially designed instruction as I needed. But it made the learning feel more alive again. And I can't tell you how much of a difference that surprise had made for my students. And so your surprise could be a guest speaker, a quick, engaging, topical video clip on what you're learning, a challenge or a short project. The point is this: the surprise interrupts the drag that happens in the classroom and it switches it up. So Try some unannounced surprises. And now let's get to N in the motivational fun. New environment. Sometimes the lesson is fine that you have planned. The room just needs a little bit of a change. Students can get tired of the same environment just like we do. And sometimes changing the environment changes the engagement. I'll give an example. So I had a teacher I was mentoring a while back who used to take her class outside on those sunny spring days when the energy and just got really um, low in the class and just the students weren't engaging. So what she would do is they would walk around the track a few times um, on the campus building, on a campus property, and then they would do a math or reading activity on a grassy area nearby. It was nothing fancy, but it worked. The sunlight helped, the movement helped, the fresh air helped. And for students with disabilities, especially those who need more movement and some sensory variation, or just a quick reset, that change in environment really can help them regulate enough to engage again in what you're trying to teach them. So sometimes they don't need more talking. They just need more air. And even if you can't go outside because the weather doesn't permit or it's just not feasible, you can still shift the environment. Maybe change the seating a bit. Move to the library. Use a computer lab. Um, Let students help you redesign the room and make it a mini project or a mini activity together that you do. Or just find a different corner of your school building or campus where you can maybe just teach your lesson for the day. Even a temporary shift can wake the class back up. So that's motivational fun. Fun, the F, fun activities, U, unannounced surprises, and N, new environment. One small shift in any one of these areas can help bring life back into your classroom. So if your class has been feeling kind of dry lately, don't pressure yourself to create some giant classroom transformation overnight. Start small and ask yourself, where can I add a little more fun in my lessons? Where can I build in one little element of surprise in what I do day to day, excuse me? And where can I create a new environment? That may be enough to shift the day. And maybe this is the line that I really want to leave you with today. And it's sometimes students are not resisting the learning. They're just worn out by the way they've been experiencing it. And so now, before I go, let me ask you this. What does your classroom need most right now? Does it need a little more fun in the activities? A little more of an element of surprise that's unexpected? Or a fresh environment? So as in closing, I want to invite you to come hang out with me on Facebook, Instagram, on my YouTube page, and leave a comment on the post for this episode. All of my social links are in the top right corner of the show notes page for this episode, and I love to hear what's working for you. So, be encouraged, teacher friend. I want you to keep showing up, keep adjusting to your students as the year goes on, and keep loving your students well, just like I know you already are. All right, until next time, take care and God bless.